A simple video of Prince Archie learning to ski alongside his father sparked considerable online discussion, but not for the reasons one might expect. Rather than celebrating this wholesome family moment, a 6-year-old confidently gliding down a snowy slope with his father present and engaged, critics immediately weaponized it as another opportunity to question Harry and Meghan's parenting choices. This reaction reveals far more about media narratives and institutional expectations than it does about the actual family captured in the footage. What the video truly shows is something increasingly rare: genuine parental presence. Harry isn't delegating his responsibilities to staff. He's there in the snow, fully engaged with his son. Meghan's proud caption, "My boy's quick learner," isn't a calculated PR move, but an authentic expression of maternal joy. This moment encapsulates everything Harry and Meghan have fought to achieve for their children. A childhood built on presence, authenticity, and freedom from institutional constraints. Media narratives have painted Meghan as distant and performative, yet the reality experienced by those closest to her tells a strikingly different story. Recently, she was spotted personally shopping for Easter gifts in Montecito, browsing shelves and hand-selecting items like Magic Rabbit playing cards and sea monkeys for Archie, Lilibet and her godchildren. This wasn't delegated to assistants despite her resources. Instead, she engaged directly in this grounding parenting experience. Friends who know Meghan describe witnessing her as a mother using one particularly revealing word: privilege. Not performance, not public relations, but privilege, indicating the profound difference between the caricature presented by tabloids and the genuine person her community experiences daily. When multiple people across different circles consistently describe her as thoughtful, supportive, and deeply present, a clear portrait emerges of someone completely invested in her children's development and well-being. This disconnect between media narrative and lived reality is crucial because it exposes how tabloid coverage has systematically distorted public understanding of who Meghan actually is. The woman personally selecting her children's gifts is the same woman building initiatives that support families and advance charitable causes, someone motivated by genuine compassion rather than institutional obligation. Perhaps the most transparently manipulative criticism levelled against Harry and Meghan involves manufactured concern about Archie and Lilibet supposedly missing out on formal royal roles. This argument becomes almost comical when examined closely. We're asked to believe that a 6-year-old and 4-year-old are somehow devastated about lacking constitutional positions when their actual daily concerns involve snacks, bedtime negotiations, and whether sea monkeys live up to their advertised potential. The premise crumbles entirely when confronted with historical evidence. The British royal family has never functioned as a system where every family member becomes a working royal with official duties. Princess Margaret, sister to Queen Elizabeth II, had 2 children, David Armstrong-Jones, Viscount Linley, and Lady Sarah Chatto, neither of whom held formal royal roles. David became a renowned furniture designer. Sarah became an accomplished artist. Both lived full, meaningful lives without experiencing tragedy from their lack of official positions. This pattern repeats throughout royal history. Princess Beatrice and Princess Eugenie spent years without working royal titles, developing careers and independent lives without anyone suggesting their childhoods were damaged. Zara Tindall and Peter Phillips never took royal titles. Zara became an Olympic equestrian. Peter pursued business ventures. Neither experienced deprivation because they weren't performing ceremonial duties. The historical record demonstrates unequivocally that royal children without formal roles don't become tragic figures. They become people who've lived fuller, more authentic lives than many counterparts bound by institutional expectations. They gained something invaluable, genuine freedom to become who they actually are rather than who a system needed them to be. What Harry and Meghan have built represents a fundamentally different parenting philosophy centred on autonomy that the institution can never truly offer. Archie and Lilibet aren't growing up as titles awaiting assignment like chess pieces on a monarchy board. They're growing up as individuals known for who they actually are. The difference is profound and tangible. In a palace setting, gift selections would be made by teams of advisors considering protocol and appropriateness. In California, a mother chooses gifts because she knows her children's actual interests and personalities. This freedom from rigid protocol creates space for something increasingly rare: personal agency and authentic purpose. Archie doesn't need to wonder if his skiing moment was appropriate for a royal. He simply got to be 6 years old, learning something new beside his dad. Lilibet doesn't need to calculate whether her interests align with institutional expectations. These children are developing their own sense of identity, shaped by genuine community and parental presence rather than constitutional requirements. The stability surrounding them comes from multiple sources. Doria Ragland, their grandmother, who is actively present in their lives; Harry and Meghan themselves, deeply engaged in daily parenting rather than delegating everything to staff; and their California community, which fundamentally values privacy and normalcy in ways traditional royal circles cannot. This combination creates something far more precious than any official role: safety, normalcy, and the actual foundation of a healthy childhood. Understanding Harry's backstory makes the skiing video profoundly meaningful. Harry has been remarkably candid about wounds left by his mother's loss and the relentless media scrutiny that followed. Cameras that never stopped, narratives never his to control. His most vulnerable moments dissected by strangers who profited from his pain. That kind of trauma echoes through generations unless someone deliberately chooses to stop it. Harry made exactly that choice. He examined the pattern that harmed him and his family, then decided his children would not inherit that nightmare. In the skiing video, you see this decision made visible. A father positioned beside his son, protective yet encouraging, fully present and not performing for cameras or thinking about tomorrow's press. This isn't simply good parenting. It's healing in action, generational change happening in real time. Harry and Meghan have essentially told their children, "Your childhood will not be currency for tabloids. Your growth will not be performance art. Your family moments will be sacred." In making that choice, Harry breaks the very cycle that shaped his own painful story. The narrative that was supposed to unfold when Harry and Meghan stepped away from the royal institution predicted their descent into obscurity. We were told their projects would fizzle, their ventures would fail, and they'd come crawling back, begging for their old titles. Instead, what we've witnessed is systematic building of something genuinely powerful, a platform and purpose rooted in their values rather than inherited tradition. Harry's Invictus Games advocacy has evolved into an extraordinary global community centred on resilience, healing and service that transcends borders and institutional gatekeeping. Every Games brings wounded veterans from around the world together in an environment celebrating their strength rather than their trauma. A healing space that Harry created without needing institutional permission. Meghan has launched initiatives supporting families in tangible ways, creative projects that genuinely connect people, investments in causes that matter, and ventures creating actual opportunity. They're doing this without needing royal approval, grounding their work in actual purpose rather than protocol. The persistence is what unsettles critics most, because persistence implies sustainability, which implies they knew exactly what they were doing when they walked away. Every successful venture, charitable initiative, and family moment showing them thriving contradicts the predetermined narrative of their failure. Here lies perhaps the most transparent contradiction. The same voices that spent years relentlessly attacking Meghan in the press now suddenly appear with manufactured concern about Archie and Lilibet's futures. It's theatrical and insulting to everyone's intelligence. These aren't concerned observers awakening to worry about two children's well-being. These are pressure tactics dressed in the language of concern, designed to suggest that Harry and Meghan's independence somehow equals deprivation. But children thrive in environments where they feel loved, protected, and valued for who they are, not where they're useful to a system. The same commentators who question Meghan's legitimacy, intelligence, and motives now want us to believe they're invested in her children's happiness. If their concern were genuine, they would have advocated for reform of the toxic media environment surrounding Archie and Lilibet since birth, the paparazzi culture that has pursued them, the invasion of privacy they've faced. Instead, many participated in amplifying that very toxicity. This contradiction reveals what this debate has actually been about all along. A desperate attempt to make Harry and Meghan's departure from the institution look like failure, to prove that independence equals loss, that choosing freedom means sacrificing children's well-being. But evidence doesn't support this narrative. When stripped of noise and manufactured outrage, what we're witnessing is something profoundly beautiful. Two children building genuine memories that will shape who they become. The moments we treasure most from childhood aren't ceremonial or obligatory. They're simple and unscripted. Learning to ride a bike from your dad, holding your mom's hand while shopping. That's exactly what Archie and Lily are getting, and it's worth far more than any royal title. When you see that skiing video, you're witnessing the foundation of a childhood built on presence, attention, and a parent actually being there. Most importantly, both children are being known as well as pau kilos, not symbols. In the palace system, children become titles before they become human beings. Roles to fill, expectations to manage, images to control. In their California home, Archie is just Archie, a kid discovering the world at his own pace. Lily is just Lily, growing up with genuine privacy and space to become whoever she wants to be. The greatest gift Harry and Meghan have given them is protection from an institution that has proven repeatedly to be toxic in ways both obvious and insidious. The pressure, scrutiny, and relentless demands to perform and conform aren't character building, they're corrosive. So when critics frame their removal from that system as loss, what they're missing is the profound gain: freedom from institutional pressure, freedom to develop authentic identities, freedom to be children first and everything else second. That skiing video isn't a snapshot of what Archie is missing. It's a testament to everything Harry and Meghan fought to achieve for their children. A 6-year-old learning a new skill with his father present and engaged, not fulfilling royal obligations. A mother capturing the moment because she's genuinely proud. This represents the actual definition of childhood success, having nothing to do with whether Archie will ever have an official title. Real childhood success looks like confidence, like a child who trusts the adults around him, who knows they're paying attention, who feels supported in trying new things without judgment. Harry and Meghan have created an environment where their children can grow without constant institutional pressure, without suffocating weight of centuries-old traditions, without cameras documenting every stumble as constitutional crisis. Instead, Archie and Lilibet grow in a space where their value isn't tied to utility to the crown, where they can simply be children exploring the world, learning at their own pace, surrounded by people who love them as individuals. When Archie and Lilibet are older and ask their parents why they chose a different path, Harry and Meghan won't need to explain compromise or tradition. They'll simply point to everything they've built, everyone they've helped, and the freedom they've given their children to define success on their own terms. That's the real legacy being constructed, far more powerful than anything the monarchy could offer. The skiing video isn't evidence of deprivation. It's evidence of a family that chose freedom and found something infinitely more valuable: authentic love, genuine presence, and a childhood built on what actually matters. If you enjoyed this video and want to support pro-Sussex content, please hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss an update. Give this video a like to help the algorithm spread the truth. You can also join our channel membership for exclusive perks and deeper discussions. Thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting Harry and Meghan, and I'll see you in the next one.